We're live. Roll up, everybody. Gather, come and join. One man, it is that time again. I say it is that time again. I didn't give you sufficient notice. But nevertheless, if you are around, your company will be very much appreciated. One man went to know important matters to discuss, or an important matter to discuss this time around. One single story session. But if you are around, then come and join me. It's just a quick session, really, to address a particular matter. When I went to Mo, the eagle has landed.
Only water, water, only water, where they see ma. Water, 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 water. Only water, where they see ma. Hapa o naido. Hapa o naido. Hapa you don't come o. Hapa o naido. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́ kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùrè o. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́. Ilé sọ́dí akẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùrè o. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́. Bobby master kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùrè o. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́. Chifu Faila ti kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùrè o. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mùdé. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mùdó. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùdódò jàre o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mùdó. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ Ghana ti dé ẹgbẹ́ bọ́ọ̀dì o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Odúyẹ̀lá ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ Petrosonana ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ Petrosodúnkẹ́ ẹyẹ rẹ̀ ó dilé o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹlẹ́kọ̀ ọ̀run mú ìní o. Ìgbàlà tí ó lè àkùkọ ọ̀run mẹ́kọ̀. Ikú kò ní rí wà gbéṣe o.
And there we are. Iku Koniriwa Gbeshe by the Kegites. It's just really to address this particular headline brought to the fore by the former CBN governor and former Kano State Emir, former Emir of Kano, Lamido Sanusi. So Buhari has wasted 40 years progress made since Shagari era. It is Lamido Sanusi making bold to make this bold statement. So quite a shocker. Again, Buhari has wasted 40 years progress made since Shagari era, a headline attributed to the former CBN governor. So here is what he has to say. Bear with me 1 second. Dethroned Emir of Kano, Mohamedou Sanusi, on Saturday said Nigeria in the last 40 years as the let's start that all over again. Dethroned Emir of Kano, Mohamedou Sanusi, Saturday said Nigeria in the last 40 years as the country has made zero economic progress since the 1980s. Mr. Sanusi, a former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, made this statement at a colloquium held in Kaduna to mark his 60th birthday. In 1980, Nigeria's GDP per capita on purchasing power parity basis was $2,180. In 2014, it appreciated by 50% to $3,099. According to the World Bank, where are we in 2019? $2,200 and 29. So let's just look at those figures again because this is the basis of everything that is saying. So in 1980, the president of Nigeria was Buhari, was rather Shagari then. So in 1980, the president of Nigeria was, oh, just pardon me, let me just do something fairly quickly. Okay, yes, so where were we? All right. So in 1980, the president of Nigeria was Shagari then. So in 1980, Nigeria's GDP, gross domestic product, you all know what a GDP is. So in 1980, Nigeria's gross domestic product per capita on purchasing power parity was 2,180. So that was the purchasing power per parity as at that time, essentially, effectively, what a person has. Let's just say that is an individual's budget in the country per annum. So let's just use that just as the loose understanding to make the point. So that was the purchasing power parity as at 2000, so as at 1980. So that 2,200, 2,180, of course, that was a stronger amount then because the naira, of course, had parity then with the dollar virtually. So in 1980, the purchasing power parity was 2,180. Now, in 2014, it appreciated by 50% uh, to 3,099. So let's pause there again. So 2 points then. The purchasing power parity was 2,180 in the 80s, as we said, but then he has not described what progression was made up to 2014. But what he said is that in 2014, it appreciated to 3,099. So now, who was the president of Nigeria at in 2014? That, of course, was Goodluck Jonathan. So 1980 was Shagari. It was 2,180. By 2014, under Goodluck Jonathan, Jonathan marked it up sharply to 3,100, essentially 3,099. So let's just round it off to 3,100. So Jonathan marked it up sharply by about 50% as at 2014. So now, according to the World Bank, where is it now? 2,299. So essentially, it has gone back to where it was in 1980, is what we are seeing. So essentially, the economy as at 2019, when the last audit was done, had gone back to where it was in 2080, in 19 sorry, I can't get my words in the right sequence. So the economy essentially in 2019 has gone back to where it was in 1980. So in 1980, 2,180 purchasing power parity, that is the GDP per capita purchasing power parity was 2,180 in 1999 in 2019 2,229. That's a bit convoluted the way I explained it, but I think you get the general thrust of that. It says, at this rate, in the next 2 years, in terms of purchasing power parity, the average income of a Nigerian would have gone back to what it was in 1980 under Shagari. That means in 40 years, no progress, no progress. We made zero progress. 40 years wasted, Mr. Sanusi said. He further said that between 2014 and 2029, on the basis of this index of the purchasing power of the average income of an average Nigerian, we have wiped out all the progress made in 35 years. Mr. Sanusi's statement comes amidst claims by the presidency that the President Muhammadu Buhari regime has lifted over 10 million Nigerians out of poverty and that no government has invested in infrastructure like the Buhari regime. Correspondents had on Saturday reported how Kaduna state government spent 25 million on Sanusi's colloquium amidst dwindling resources in the country. So there we are. It's just an eye-opening sort of stuff presented by Lamido Sanusi, the complete wiping out of the Nigerian economy in just 60 years. This is what the Central Bank of or the former rather Central Bank of Nigeria governor has to say. What says you, UK? Good to see you, UK.
Yeah. Hello, one man. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Yeah. Well, based on what you say about the economy, there's no economy that can survive without any production. Like country producing for themselves. Then also export so that they can earn foreign exchange. For the fact we are only to consume. To the extent we even import toothpick to Nigeria. When we say Castle don't bust too. I don't know whether now Juju will be that a whole country.
But good luck Jonathan managed to spike the economy up sharply by 50% in just 6 years.
Yes.
Buhari managed to wipe it up by just 100%, setting
Yes,
back 40
because
years in the same 6 years.
yeah, because when Goodluck came, he liberalized a whole lot of. I mean, there was a kind of liberty in the economy, so people were able to get their goods to the country. Like those who are into production, they were able to import something, and there wasn't any border closure like the way they stifled the border closure. So all those things, helped to improve the economy. During that time, you see things were a little bit cheaper, and the dollar was still stabilized. It didn't go up as it is now. Because people were able to do I think they liberalized the economy. To make everybody get their own things doing. And if you during that time now, you can look at it, because I remember that time I was watching CNN. They said Nigeria was one of the happiest country in the world now, because people were getting things now, going on with them, But as soon as these people enter, man, everything locked up. The first thing they do, they hit that semi-border, then they come to the other part of the border close too. But then they leave their northern, border, where all those terrorists are coming in, coming to kill people. So, I mean, if you look at what Sanusi is saying, I mean, it's true now, because since Buhari have been in power, things have gotten worse than it were before.
But the curious thing is by they, I mean Buhari and his team, they are presenting a contrary argument that Nigeria is better than it has ever been, that they are building the most infrastructure than anyone else ever in the history of that country. We are not seeing it anywhere. They're saying they are growing the economy. That is in contrast to what all the economists and the experts, and more importantly, the lived experience of the average Nigerian on the street is. And they are telling us this fantastical story, and we're living in increasing new level misery. So where is this? That's chasm between what they are telling us and what we are seeing as the reality, and what an expert like Lamido is saying as well.
One man, I mean, as I'm talking to you now, I bought a piece of land in Port Harcourt. The piece of land, for me to even fence that piece of land, if I compare it during Jonathan time, that piece of land might take me like 450,000 to build the fence. But now, as I'm talking to you, it's more than 1 point something million, to do everything. So, I mean,
this is just to fence land, though. What about out when to building it?
Yes,
you're already $2,000 down just to fence down.
Yeah,
is that not? That's about $2,000-3,000, isn't it? That's 1.5.
Exactly. So this is my own feeling. It. Not even people in Nigeria. Even this morning now. Even okay, how many people they are paying minimum wage can come up with 1 point something million? This one, I mean, they can't even eat. So talk less on me. I'm feeling it because this is not what I spent when I built a house in my village. I know how much I took to do the fence. Now, compared, it's almost triple, you know. So I mean, this one, with that being said, I mean, this would they have crashed the economy. They have ground everything. So we will feel the heat. The coming heat is from next year that we even start feeling the more heat. This one, I mean, this one we are just, we are still in even the messy ground. It's from next year we'll begin to feel the heat. So that's what I want to say.
Yeah, because I was just saying on another session that the report that I am hearing is that people or middle class people, and you know what a middle class person is within Nigerian space, they can't even buy yam anymore. They are now substituting potato for yam. This is it. People cannot go to the market and freely buy yam anymore, and people are now eating potatoes. And I'm not talking about the man on the street. I'm talking about your middle income, educated person. They are because they cannot afford to buy yam. Because of course, to buy yam to fill what a family of 4 or 5, then you're buying 2, 3 tubers, and they cannot afford that anymore. They are now eating potatoes as a not just to try something, but as a real substitute now for yam. This is where we are now.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes when I look at the condition, I say, even when we were growing up, things weren't even people were not even talking about food. But for me, sometimes where I'm staying now, I see the kind of food I waste every day. I'll say, God, but why Nigeria? Why Nigeria? Even a common man to eat, to even buy a gari, at least that's the most, and that gari itself is a big deal now, because I was yesterday, I called somebody, I was asking, he was telling me tomato self, you can't even get tomato 1,000. Or if you use tomato 1,000 cook, you cannot even feed your family. And this is the people they pay like 30,000 a month, and that 30,000 is even for them
we should not be talking about food in Nigeria anymore. We should have perfected food in Nigeria 30 years ago.
Yes.
30 years ago.
Yes.
We've got vast tomato plains. We've got vast yam plains. Nigerians have perfected the art of growing yam and tomatoes. We've got a huge stock of cattle. We've got the largest amount of goats on the planet. Nigeria has more goats than everybody. Chickens everywhere. We should not be talking about food in Nigeria. Nigerians should not be talking about. Nobody should be wondering about what to eat in Nigeria.
One man, the solution of this problem is to dissolve that country. If you're about go take your own nation.
You always like there. Look at this guy. Everything always likes to be Biafra with you Eastern boys.
Let build their own nation. Let Biafra build their own nation. Let Middlebelt build their own nation. Let Arawa build their own nation. Let those who are those Boko Haram, if they want to get their own nation, let them get their own, so that everybody can build their own place, because this thing is getting too much. Because
no, it is already too much. Not even getting anymore.
They are dragging those people who are progressing. They are dragging them down. It's like people who have a progressive mind, to do something, but due to people who are in the hem of their affair, they don't want people to progress. So how can such countries survive?
It's just a terrible situation. But if Lamido Sanusi, a Fulani man himself from the north, is saying that the country has regressed 40 years in 6 years, then then somebody has to do something. Because he is saying even in the next 2 years that this guy, for you to know that he's targeting Buhari, he's then giving the coloration for the next 2 years as well, which is when, of course, Buhari's regime will end. So he's saying essentially this guy has just damaged the country almost beyond repair.
Yeah, he's an economist, so he knows what he's talking. Even if you're not even an economist, even a layman know that Nigeria,
you go to the shops now, and you know what you are going through.
What you're going through. So I mean, without being told what is going on, I mean, the problem is like I'm telling you, the after effect is coming. I mean, this one we are even talking is just part one. The after effect is coming, because all those money they borrowed and they didn't utilize it to pump into the economy or to liberalize so that people can.
When that one hit us, you know,
Yes.
people.
No, people, don't worry now. People will move. People, they will strike people. And
If we get to a point, if you bring out a plate of rice
it's
in
gonna be,
Nigeria, somebody will hold a knife to you and
yeah,
say,
it's
"Well,
gonna be,
give me that
it's
rice."
gonna be this third law of Newton is gonna apply in Nigeria very soon.
Mhm.
The third law of Newton is gonna
Okay.
apply in Nigeria. I mean, just next year we'll begin to see it
Okay.
because
What is that third law of
I
Newton?
mean reaction now. I mean, when you hit people now, people will hit you back now.
All
Eh?
right.
So that's all I want to say.
Okay, thank you, UK. It was just a short session, and I'm glad you came up to just chime in your opinion. So brilliant. We'll reconvene again for the evening. So if you are chanced, then please join us again. So thank you, UK. So that was UK, and it was just a single story relay session just to highlight that point being made by Sanusi that Malam Buhari has regressed the country by 40 years. Alarming, but not surprising. What says you? Come share thoughts. But before you come into the comment section to engage, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. Bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done all the clickers, come join me then in the comment section. Come tell me what you're making of this rather alarming bombshell that has been dropped by the former CBN governor. So I leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section. But here, I say, peace.